Well, streaming is now becoming more and more popular for American TV viewers, but hold your wallet because the prices, if you want commercial free, are going way up. Welcome to Streamflation. Let's bring in Strat America's managing director, Seth Schachtner, and pop culture and entertainment expert, Jackie Jordan. Thank you both. Seth, I want to put these on the board. This is the ad streaming cost, right? You see Netflix, $15.49 now. Disney Plus, like, doubled their price, $13.99. HBO Max, $15.99. And then, of course, you got Hulu. You got all these other ones in there. I mean, they're hitting for like $75 now for these things. And sometimes you still have to watch the ads.
Yeah. What's happening now is I think the studios and the streamers have figured out there are different price points that are out there. That consumers might not be so price sensitive on the subscription side of things. Disney's seeing it, so is Netflix, so they're pushing that subscription price up. But at the same time, they're also doing away with kind of the mid-tier, and they're making more. They call it ARPU, the average revenue per user on the ad-supported stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're emphasizing the free plans too, and it's all about profitability now. It's not just about getting subscribers and building lots of programming. And it's probably a smart strategy to build towards profitability.
Yeah, and Jackie, the whole thing here, I remember reading a long time ago that they were all about eyeballs. You know, Netflix is going for the more, if you just sign up everybody, you get eyeballs, and now they genuinely need revenue to actually survive.
Well, it's so interesting because they take up 62% of the marketplace for media assets, and the timing for this is really interesting. Obviously, we're in a recession, but we're also in an actors and writers strike right now, and they're fighting over, you know, residuals for streaming rights, while the companies are raising the price right now for the consumer. So it's very ironic timing.
It really is, and I want to move on to the next subject because is anybody watching, following this Blindside lawsuit, you know, with Michael Oher going after the Tuohy family, and you think, what's going on here? But here's what I don't get, Jackie. I'm going to ask you this. Why are they asking Sandra Bullock to return her Oscar? I mean, what did she do? Why did she, I mean, what's the point? Why are you attacking Sandra Bullock?
Well, I couldn't agree more with you on that. It's not the thing to attack her about, but it's, you know, they're calling this a white savior story. So they're going after, I mean, there's the hint of racism in here, but, you know, if you look at the Best Picture movies over the past couple of years, there's been a lot of social minority stories being promoted. So to go after Sandra Bullock is ironic, and it's a distortion, and it's from the same exact community that is also saying that, you know, a lot of these white actresses ended up adopting black children. So the logic for, you know, Sandra Bullock to have to give back her Oscar because it's a white savior story is just all a complete distortion.
Speaking of white savior story, Seth, you know, I want to read this because this is from a sociologist and the author of the White Savior film, quoting, "It's a common theme in which the black person being saved has to be almost rescued from blackness itself. The message is the closer to whiteness you become, the more your problems are solved." I think what Jackie's saying there is I just don't quite get it. I don't quite, they're getting, if you're an actor, you can play whatever you want to play, and it doesn't mean that you are actually doing whatever those person, I mean, it's like playing Hitler in a movie. It's not like you did something nefarious.
It is there is a tradition, you know, going back to Kill a Mockingbird and Green Book, you know, all the way through of this white savior factor. And I mean, it's a difficult, slippery slope here. I think in the creation and writing of Hollywood pictures over time, and we're going back, there probably wasn't enough diversity and representation. And so you see that in some of these stories. I mean, I think the good news is that you're starting to see so many different pictures, whether it's Barbie or Get Out or even Squid Games, that are coming from lots of different angles. And I don't know if something like this picture, this was 12 years ago, right, when it was released, that it would even be made or marketed in the same way right now anyway. And so I think it's a little unfair. The Oscar stuff to me is ridiculous because it wouldn't make any difference at all. So it is a little absurd on that
But in the last couple years, you know, in our Oscar lineup, we've had 12 years a Slave. 2 years ago, we had Coda, which was a child of disabled adults, deaf adults. So it's, you know, we've definitely had a lot of minority representation in films in the last decade. Unlike so we've, you know, definitely hit the quota in our stories. So to come back and do a retro pull is kind of ironic.
10 seconds, wrap us up, Seth. What?
Listen, basically, I think the future's brighter for this just because of the diversity of programming that's being made. I think even the Academy's changed, and all these different streamers out there, whether they stay in business or not, are going to continue to offer lots of different types of programming to keep audiences out there, especially internationally as well. So hopefully it'll get a little better.
And continue to hit us
Mike
for a
Lewis
bunch of
wrote
money,
a great
Jack.
book.
Michael, he did write a great book, and he also wrote Moneyball. People know that as well.
Moneyball, exactly.
Jackie Jordan, Seth Schachtner, great to have you both on. Thank you.